Voilà, mon truc que je parle dans la salle.
Because of camera, you have to remove all the things.
Good morning and welcome to Hangzhou. It's the first day of the World Championship of Sitting Volleyball 2026. What a great pleasure to be here in China with that opening game between Iran in red and Rwanda in yellow. We will go through 3 days of pool stage here. This is the Pool A in the women's tournament. 16 teams for the women competing, 16 teams in the men's tournament as well. We will meet with the men's tournament later today here on court number 1. We have 3 different courts and I'm super happy that we will live stream that court number 1. 6 games in total today. We start with this game between Rwanda and Iran in the women's tournament. Just after we'll have Italy against France as well in the women's tournament. And then we'll switch to the men's tournament for 3 games. Brazil against Iraq, Kazakhstan against Croatia, China against Thailand, and the last game of the day should be around 7 p.m. tonight here local time. China against Kenya, that time in the women's tournament. China against Kenya will be a game of Pool A. It's exactly the same group than the one that we will see this morning. Rwanda against the Islamic Republic of Iran. Rwanda is the defending champion in the Africa Championship. They also took part in the 2024 Paris Paralympics. A lot of experience in that team since many of those players were traveling to Paris for 2 years now. And for Iran, well, they went just shy from qualifying for the Paralympics after losing the final games of the qualifiers against Slovenia. This was already in China, in Delhi in 2024. They were super close and they are targeting to finish this competition in the top 8. As well, on the side of Iran, a lot of experience. It's their 3rd World Championships in a row after Rotterdam 2018, after Sarajevo 2022. Of course, they're looking to have a great display here. We just saw the official warm-up of both teams, and they will come on court with the starting 6 in just a few seconds. Beautiful facilities here in Hangzhou at the World Power Volley Development Center. We had yesterday evening exactly at that place the opening ceremony with the traditional speeches of all officials, especially the World Power Volley President Jürgen Schrapp. But then as well a huge display of local dancers to get this 2026 Sitting Volleyball World Championships kicked underway. Well, if you were following the action in Paris in 2024, there are some changes on the Rwandan side. On the bench, exit Mossad El Ayouti, who was the head coach. We will meet him later today because he's now coaching the men's team of Brazil. And the head coach is Marie-Josée Umutezi Rubayaza. She's now in charge of that team from Rwanda, securing another title in Africa against Kenya. Kenya is also taking part in these World Championships. We will meet with them later today in the last game of the day against China. Well, there were only 2 teams competing in the Women's African Championship. Nigeria had to drop out of the competition just before it started. So we had 3 games between Rwanda and Kenya, and Rwanda secured 3 victories on the same score, 3 sets to 0. But when we read about the target, the goals of the different teams, Kenya is looking forward to secure some good world points at the world ranking because they want to be part of LA 2028, and this would mean being able as well to defeat at some point Rwanda. So there is some contention in Africa between Rwanda and Kenya to have the spot for LA 2028, and that's also another target. We will talk about that one later in the tournament, later today and later in the upcoming days, because there are 2 different spots to be secured both in the men's and the women's tournament for Los Angeles 2028, the Paralympic Games. Both the winner and the runner-up will get their tickets to fly to America in 2 years. And that's actually one of the main reasons why the teams travel to here, because of course there is the title in that World Championships. Who will be the next one after Iran won the men's tournament for 4 years in Sarajevo. Brazil won the title in the women's tournament. But more than this, more than the title, the absolute goal for the top teams in the world, it's to secure this week or at the end of next week their tickets for the 2028 Paralympics. Most teams are still on the bench. We are waiting for everything to be set at the table. We had some small numbers changes when we looked at the jerseys arriving at the venue compared to the final roster that were given yesterday. That's maybe the reason why we're just like securing that the electronic score sheet had the right numbers. We had changes actually on both sides, both on the Iranian side and on the side of Rwanda. Rwanda will play with two different liberos. They have 14 players, two of them wearing a different jersey. Asina Habyarimana, number 7, and Marcian Mahoro, number 27. None of them were in the previous Paralympic Games where Rwanda took part, because their libero there was Hosiana Muliza. She is not part of the travel here in China. The team from Rwanda still led by the captain and number 15 Lilian Mukwop Wankawe, and as well a lot of experience on the Iranian side. I mentioned that they finished second in the Paralympic qualifier in 2024 in Dali, but they finished also 9th at the previous World Championships in Sarajevo. We didn't see them a lot since then, but most of the players of the team are the same, even if they are missing their captain Masume Zarei. She was the captain and number 1 in Sarajevo for 4 years, not anymore part of that roster here in Hangzhou. Yeah, we are checking one more time the list and the numbers. I guess it's sold for Iran, and we are checking one more time for Rwanda. The two liberos have a different number than the one we had on the official list, and that's also the case for Delphine Nihere. She was supposed to wear number 7, but she now has number 10. They also changed her first name in the back. So as soon as the numbers and the list will be correct, I guess that we will be able to have that first game of the 2026 World Championships underway. Well, we're still testing as well the different timeout devices. Oh, something new we can talk about. Already that morning, something really new regarding new technologies in this World Championship is the fact that we will have a video challenge on all 3 courts with 5 different type of challenges. We will be able to see this for sure during that first game. So the 5 things you can challenge in those World Championships with the system that we have is the ball is in or out, was there any net fault, was there any antenna touch, was there any block touch, and the last thing you can challenge is the 2 lines, either the service line or the 2-meter line, to see if a player went over the line, either when serving or when spiking from the back row. If you're not familiar with sitting volleyball, well, the rules are pretty similar than the one we have in volleyball. I mentioned the 2-meter line. It's only 2 meters compared to the 3 meters you are used to in volleyball, but otherwise not a lot changes. You have to keep contact with the floor at all time, otherwise we will see a different movement from the referees called the lifting, and I will try to guide you through the rules in case you're not familiar with sitting volleyball. still discussing now with the staff from Iran as well, maybe to double check the numbers of the players. Small delay in that very first game of the day number 1 here in Hangzhou, but nothing bad, because anyway we will have 6 games in a row on that court number 1. We have 5 games on court number 2, 5 games on court number 3. That's 16 games in total for the first day. Once again, the 2 referees are double checking the electronic score sheet because they have to update all devices. We're all connected to the new technologies here in China. They will have to sign one more time now manually the paper for the number changes. And Ritsuto Yamamishi and Christina Arpas, the 2 referees of that first game, will be able to send the 2 teams on court as soon that everything is done with the table. We talked about that pool stage that we will start in just a few seconds. 4 teams in each group, 4 groups. They will play against each other in the first 3 days, 1 game per day. The good thing is that all the teams will then qualify for a round of 16. But of course, if you finish first, you will play a team ranked 4th. And if you finish last of your group, you might encounter a strong team that will be able to win its group. So it's all about qualifying at the best position in your group to avoid a too difficult round of 16. Well, everyone has a smile, both on the Iranian side and the team of Rwanda. Everyone wants to have these World Championships underway. The very first game here on court number 1. The second game will start at 9:30 local time on court number 2. This is in the men's tournament with the defending runner-ups. Bosnia and Herzegovina, a very strong team. They also finished a runner-up in Paris in 2024 against Japan. And the third game of this morning on court number 3, that time at 10 a.m. local time, will be a game in the women's tournament between 2 European sides, Germany and Ukraine. We are laughing, we are smiling, we are waiting for the action to be underway. So we start to warm up again on the floor on both sides because we are getting closer and closer from the first serve of that day of that game. I mentioned it, Rwanda took part in the Paralympics in Paris, finishing 7th. They defeated France in the last game 3-0 to secure that 7th place in Paris. And Iran, of course, they were missing this Paralympic Games. They finished just shy of the qualifiers, a loss against Slovenia in the final in Dali. And they will be looking forward to be in the next edition. This will be in 2028 in Los Angeles. Some more discussions, some more checks at the table to see if everything is fine regarding the jersey numbers. "14 players for Rwanda, 12 for Iran." We have 2 less on court today than what got announced in the previous entry list. Zara Manidari, number 1, is missing. She looks to be a young talent of that Iranian side, only 21 years old. And we also don't have the number 7, Hadis Rezai. She's also a young talent who is 25 years old. Both of them are not on court this morning. Yesterday during the technical meeting, we got reported of some travel issues for some of the teams. So maybe they could come a bit later. They are still on the list, on the roster, but not on court this morning. Well, it's my bad. I just double-checked the final team entry that got just modified yesterday. They are not anymore on the roster. So Zara Manidari and Hadis Rezai, they were announced to be part of the team, but they did not travel to Hangzhou, and we will have 12 players on that Iranian side. We had 14 announced in the pre-team list, but only 12 finally in that entry list. Well, if you don't know these teams, we will need to have a special eye on the number 3 from Iran, Farzaneh Haidari, VS2 player. She's a very good spiker, maybe one of the main options at the net. So we'll see how this goes when both teams will enter the court. Well, at least we have just some longer warm-up now. Everything goes in such a perfect spirit. We have to mention how good facilities are here in China, in Hangzhou. The local organizing committee making everything the easiest possible for everyone, from accommodation to transportation. And you know, it's not easy, especially yesterday night when all teams, all officials had to come to the venue at the same time for the opening ceremony and then go back to their accommodations. Everything was perfectly organized. And it's such a great pleasure to have like an easy life like that here in Hangzhou for the start of this 2026 Sitting Volleyball World Championships. Referees are ready. The devices are ready. Everyone is super excited here to have that first game underway. And we now have the introduction of the 2 international referees. Ritsuto Yamamishi from Japan and Kristina Arpas from Hungary. Kristina is used to these kinds of display. She was one of the referee at the previous Paralympic Games in Paris. A lot of experience. If I remember well, she was maybe one of the referee of the women's final between the USA and China.
Presentation of the starting players, Team Iran.
We'll go with the starting 6 of both teams now. Starting with Iran.
Number 2, China. Number 3, Malajame.
The captains are Neja Charef, Zainab Maleki, Farzaneh Haidari. We mentioned her as maybe one of the best spiking option. Number 6, Fatime Abbasi. And number 13, Fatime Jahani. We have the libero, Mary Falahi.
Captain number 15, Lilian.
Of course, in the starting six, the captain, Liliane Bokobwakwawe,
Number 4, Sandrine.
Faustina Uwimpuwe,
Number 8, Mari.
number 4, Sandrine,
Number 11,
Niraba Rushimana, Mari Musio, number 8, Solange Miraneza, number 11,
Mari Roser.
and Clementine Umutoni. She was also part of the 22 World Championships and part of the Paralympic Games in Paris. Important for both teams to have a strong start in the game and a strong start in the tournament. We mentioned that in that group we also have China, probably one of the contenders for the medals, and Kenya, a team that we are not used to see a lot on the international courts, but that is doing well in Africa. They finished runner-up, and that's the reason why they qualified to come to here, thanks to the world ranking points they got during that final of the Zonal Africa Championships. The first serve will be for Iran and for Fatmeh Jahani. Only 3 years old, but already a lot of experience. First ball for the captain from Rwanda. Great block by Iran. And this first point for the women's red. High ball on that reception again for the captain. And this ball touched the antenna just a bit too much to the outside. 2 points in a row for Iran. They changed the option, but that's almost a free ball for Iran. Great dig by Rwanda on that first spike. Through the middle with the captain. Well played, Zara Nejatiaref. .4-0 for Iran. A very strong start in that first game. High ball for Liliane. Touched by the block. And here is the first point for Rwanda. Solange Miraneza. Good effort by the block. Oh, great dig again, the lucky one. And this block is called in. Great blocking action, both from Liliane and Clementine. That serve on the Iranian libero. Lifting call against Farzaneh Haidari. Well, the ball was a bit too much to the inside, and she had to move a lot to get that spike. And Rwanda is back in contention, 3-4. Good dig from Rwanda. Another great dig, that time from the Iranian libero. The ball is alive, not anymore. Too difficult for Mari Musio to have a proper second ball touch. And we have the captain, Zara Nejatiaref, for the serve. Great serve, a powerful one. Through the middle Lucky dig, but just a bit too long. And that's the confirmation that Farzaneh Haidari is one of the strong shoulder of that Iranian side. She showed it at position 4, and she's now sitting in position 3, able to do well, both as an outside hitter, but as well as a middle blocker. Got a great serve again. Lilian with the spike blocked. She sends the ball directly again. What a clever play to push that ball deep towards position 5. No one was covering, or not enough to bring that ball back in play. 7 points to 3. That service just out. Another powerful one for the captain from Iran. Switching with Mary Falahi, the libero. And the head coach of Iran, Mariam Iranmanesh, has some smile on her face for the moment, quite satisfied with the start of her players. This ball comes back on the Iranian side. Touched by the block. Fight at the net. The error is called against Ronda, who played that ball on the other side of the net. Oh, the first ace of the game for Iran. Great serve, Fatmeh Abbasi. And this one increases the lead of Iran, 9 points to 4. The reception is just a bit too long for the setter from Ronda, Solange Niraneza. Good effort by the block, but the point is for Iran and Batul Khalilzadeh. And if you're wondering if the men's Iran team is playing, the answer is yes, of course. They will be on court number 2 today, 1:30 p.m. local time, against Poland for the opening game. And once again, when Iran is traveling for world stage sitting volleyball competition, they will be looking forward for gold and nothing else. They are the defending champions, Paralympic champions, and they won so many medals in their recent history of sitting volleyball. But you will be able to follow the action later today if you want to see, discover, or meet again with the Iran men's team. First time out called by Ronda. Iran has an 8-point lead in that first set, 12-4. But for the moment, they're just more precise on everything, more aggressive when it comes to the serving, receiving better, and having better sets to put their hitters in the best position. Ronda is fighting while trying to dig, trying to block, but Iran is too strong in that first set for the moment. Fatmeh Abbasi ready for the serve. Lilian with the spike. Easy dig for Abbasi. Through the middle. The point for Haidari. Not the best contact on that serve, but it's still an 8-point lead for Iran. Good fight at the net. The ball is back on the Rwandan side. Free ball Iran. Bit too low for the middle blocker to spike on it. One time, two time. The ball is called in, misjudged by Liliane. Yes, she was sitting on the right spot. She was able to touch the ball, but deciding finally to let it fall on the floor. Unfortunately for her, it was in the court's limit. 14 for Iran, 5 for Rwanda. From the back row with the help of the net. Oh, what a solid spike. Fatma Jahani. She's also a very young player, 23 years old, and she was already part of that team in Sarajevo in 2022. Great serve. Another ace for Iran and for Farzaneh Haidari. This ball stops at the net. Well, also something you will never see in volleyball. It's super easy. You maybe saw the 2 thumbs up from Ritsuto Yamamishi. This point will easily be played again. Oh, there was no whistle on that serve. Bit too much of excitement for Farzaneh Haidari. Great dig by the libero. Towards position 2. Great cover by the block. And the conclusion for Batul Ralilzadeh. And Rwanda will call their second timeout after that first set. The gap is increasing and increasing. It's now a 12 points lead for Iran in that first set. That's the African friendship. You can see the team from Kenya cheering for Rwanda. Of course, they are opponents when it comes to the zonal championship. But today, especially because Rwanda is struggling in that first set, the Kenyan side is cheering for Rwanda, and they will have the chance to play against each other. This will be in the third day of the pool stage because Kenya is also in this pool A. We have both teams from Africa in that pool A alongside of Iran and China. China-Kenya, if you were not with us at the very beginning of the game, they will be on this court number 1 later today at 7 p.m. to conclude that first day of the World Championships. Just a mistake. The ball is just out. Fatma Jahani a bit greedy on the angle she was looking to find. 17 for Iran, 6 for Rwanda. That serve doesn't go over the net level, and that's an easy 18th point for Iran. Still with a very comfortable lead in that first set. In position 4, great block by Iran. It looks like a free ball. Strong spike, but what a great blocking action from Mari Musio. Fatma Jahani went full power But the block from Rwanda was just perfectly positioned on that point. Great dig by Rwanda. Oh, free ball. Lilian was close to miss it, but she found a solution. And that time it's well judged by Rwanda. We also have now the men's team of Rwanda on the other side of the court. They are in the stands where we are commentating. But they will probably be on the court soon because they have all the equipments. Yes, they will be starting at 11:30. Again, a very strong team from Egypt. Another clash between two African sides. The back set and the spike for Rwanda. A lifting is called against Sandrine Nirababurshimana. And that's point number 20 for Iran. What a great fight at the net. Again. And the point is for Rwanda. Maybe a net touch called against Fatme Abbasi, called by Christina Arpas. Too much power in that serve. Lilian finds the solution in between the two blockers. Not the ball. Double touch on that set from Clémentine. She was a bit falling on her back when taking that set. Not an easy move. Oh, what a great play. No one was covering that area. Faking the set to go with that ball just behind the net. Well played, Solange. Not enough control in that swing from Lilian. And we have Batul Khalilzadeh back on court in the front row. Oh, what a serve again for Zara Nejatyarev, captain and number 9 of that Iranian side. And that's the first set point for Iran, 24-10. Good job by the block from Rwanda. And here you have how difficult it is to serve while in sitting volleyball. You both have to keep the ball into the court, but also to avoid the blockers, because that's a huge difference with volleyball. If you're just discovering sitting volleyball, you can actually block the serve. Discussion between the captain from Rwanda and the first referee about screening, how much you can or cannot put your hands in the air to avoid the receiving team from seeing both the ball and its trajectory. The answer is you cannot do that. And there was a specific mention yesterday in the general technical meeting again. 25th point for Iran, and the first set is for the women's in red, 25-11. They will change side. Of course, a lot of smiles on the Iranian side. super happy with the display in that first set, 25-11. And for Rwanda, it's all about finding the solutions. They took their 2 timeouts in the first set, but no substitution. Let's see if they can do better in the second one, find different solutions, find different ways to block Iran. We will be back on court in just a few seconds for set number 2. Both teams are back on court. No substitution for Iran, which is absolutely not a surprise. Also checking for Rwanda, but it looks like we will go with the same players. First serve of that second set will be for Sandrine, number 4 of the team from Rwanda. First reception is a good one. Strong spike to start the set for Zani Haidari. Iran started well the first one. They are doing the same in the second one for the moment. 2-0. Touched by the block, but not enough to avoid the ace. 3-0 Iran. Rwanda securing their first point of that second set with the setter Solange at the serve now. through the middle. Great connection with Farzani, Heydari. Another very good serve for Iran. Fatmeh Abbasi. Oh, great one again. And there is a rotation mistake in addition on the side of Rwanda. High ball on that reception, not an easy one, but at least the game carries on. What a fight at the net, won by Iran and by Batul Halilzadeh. Another very strong start for Iran in that second one, 7 points to 1. Well, this is nothing you want to see, serving on your teammate. But Fatmeh Abbasi did a really good job. And there is actually a huge difference between two teams when it comes to serving and receiving. Iran being much more aggressive on the serve. Another easy reception. Even if that set was too wide for Zainab Maleki. Another very experienced player of that Iranian roster. Oh, well judged. This one was just inches away from the line. Bit of luck on that point from Lilian. She was a bit desperate to touch that ball. She did it. And no one was covering that area. That's a point for the captain of Rwanda, who is serving now. Great block. Another great block from Rwanda. They are only 3 points behind, 5-8. Easy ball. She was far away from the net. No risk on that ball. Just putting it in the middle of the court, and no one was covering there. Clever play by Iran. Another great set from Maleki for Nijatayev. Double touch called on Faustina. Good block from the Mari Musio. And you can hear the men's team from Rwanda giving some energy from the stands to try to bring Rwanda back in that second set. Still 5 behind. Ace for Rwanda. Good serve, Faustina Uwimpuwe. She was also part from the travel to France for Paralympics in 2024. Well, the launching angle of that serve was not quite good. No chance that this one lands back on court. And another rotation mistake for Rwanda. And again, it's the same one. The mistake between Marie and Sandrine, number 8 and number 4. Well, they did a mistake on the back row, and now in the front row. And that's a 3-point for Iran. Good serve. The reception is not an easy one. What a conclusion by the captain from Iran, Zara Nejatyarev.
Timeout by Team Rwanda. Rwanda 队请求暂停。
15-7 for Iran in that second set. And here is the first timeout of that second set for Rwanda. 8 points behind, but struggling for the moment to have quality receptions. Marie-Josée Umutezi Rubaidza trying to find some adjustments for her team, but also to bring maybe some more motivation, more smiles on the faces. They're struggling so much since the game began that they also lost a bit of motivation, of energy on court. 2 rotation mistakes that are not helping to be focused. Good job by the Rwanda's block. And that time a rotation mistake on the Iranian side. I'm not quite sure in double checking, but that's a 3-point for Rwanda now. Bassi, soft ball in the middle. Well played by the block from Rwanda, but net fall called against Solange Niraneza. And that point is for Iran, 16-9. Oh, good block. The back set were read by the Iranian block. What a great swing, Farzani Haidari. A second point in a row for her. And the coach from Rwanda requesting more aggression when it comes to blocking, trying really to have the fingers stronger to have a better chance to block. And with that 19th point for Iran, it's the second timeout call by Rwanda in that second set, 19-9. both the head coach and the assistant coach from Rwanda trying to find a solution. Emmanuel Ndamyu Mugabe also getting always some advices. Well, the first thing for Rwanda, they have to find a solution on the reception because Iran is serving so good. Of course, Rwanda showed some interesting display at the block, but for the moment, that's not enough to counterbalance with the aggression that Iran is putting on the serve. And that was the second and last timeout for Rwanda in that second set. Fatma Jahani, great serve just after the timeout, no risk. Was there any touch by the digger? No. That point is for Iran. 20-9, and Lilian, the Rwandan captain, putting some motivation on court, some energy. Good block by Rwanda. That's exactly what they need to do. Better aggression on these blocking actions. Well, for sure they are tall enough to block Iran, but sometimes Iran is playing that fast that the blocker cannot move to the right spot. Free ball Rwanda. Directly on the second ball touch. Clementine Mutoni for the conclusion. The great reaction from Rwanda, but when we look at the scoreboard, could be already a bit too late in that second set. 11 for Rwanda, 20 for Iran. And we'll have a substitution for Iran with Zara Lofty coming in for Fatma Jahani. Also a lot of experience for Zara Lofty. She was part of the World Championships in 2022 in Sarajevo. Also part in the Paralympic qualifier in Dali. And she's entering her competition now in that second set. Oh, what a clever play. Farzaneh Haidari. She had only very few time to go under the ball, not enough to swing it hard, so just a small display behind the block. And substitution for Rwanda. Chantal coming in, number 16 for Sandrine. And another substitution for Iran. Mariam Nazari, number 15 in for Fatma Abbasi. Everything is fine with the device, with the electronic score sheet. Oh, what a very good serve by the Iranian captain again to score that 22nd point of the second set. While Iran won the first one 25-11, it's 22-11. Can Rwanda do a bit better in that second one? For the moment, no, because this is another point for Iran. And they are only 2 points away from securing that second set. High ball for Haidari. Good dig, Rwanda. The conclusion for Batul Halilzadeh. Not a great serve on that first set point. The lucky cover with the help of the net. Zingnab Maleki. And this is how Iran takes the second one. It's now a 2-0 lead for Iran against Rwanda. We also have the staff of the women's team of China watching the action. They are also in that Pool A, and they will be on court later today against Kenya for their opening game of this 2026 Sitting Volleyball World Championships here in Hangzhou. They will face Kenya. And of course, stay with us. That entire day and the entire competition, we will see a lot of amazing action today. The second game will be a clash between two European sides that know each other perfectly, Italy and France. Both of them were part of the Paralympic Games in 2024. Italy is the reigning European champion. France is improving year after year. Game is supposed to start at 11 local time in just 1 hour. Of course, it will depend on the scenario of that game. We then need to leave both teams the time to warm up on court. But we should be fine. I mean, if we carry on at the same rhythm than the one we had in the two first sets, same score for set 1 and set 2, 25-11 for Iran. For the moment, it's super hard to imagine how Rwanda could find a solution. They have some great energy at some point on court. They're able to block well. This is maybe one of their strengths. But otherwise, in what we saw in the first two sets, for the moment, Iran is serving better, having more quality sets. And of course, more option when it comes to the spike. For Rwanda, the best option is Liliane, the captain, number 15, but she was only very few times in positive situations to spike because the quality of the reception was not good enough to allow a good set. Iran will go with their starting six again in that third set. Same team that the one we had on court for set 1 and 2. Maybe they will have the option to have some substitution at some point. And for Rwanda, no substitution in their starting six. They trust the 6 girls they had on court for the first 2 sets. Let's see how things goes in that third one. Good block from Iran. 1 time, 2 time, but not enough control on that second block. And the first point of the third set is for Rwanda. It's funny to see that when we look at the world ranking, Iran is currently ranked number 9. And Rwanda is ranked number 8 as well, thanks to the points they got for playing Paralympic Games in Paris. But for the moment, from what we saw in the first 2 sets, there is a big difference between those 2 teams. And those World Championships are also the options for all the teams to score great ranking world points. Great fight at the block, and the point is for Iran, with a net violation from Faustina. 3-1 Iran. And we can hear Zina Maleki putting a lot of energy on court. Connection through the middle. It works perfectly with Farzaneh Haidari. Well, I don't have the live statistics for that first game. This could be the case later today when we will be able to connect to the device at the table. But probably Farzaneh Haidari is the leading scorer for Iran so far in the game. And Ronda scored the first point, but Iran is definitely back on track. 5-1. Touched by the receiver. And that's now 6 points in a row for Iran. So Ronda with 3 blockers. Oh, what a serve towards position 2 there. Not easy to get to that area. Well played, Zara Nejatyarev. And they have to adapt, they have to remove 1 blocker. And so she changes the target. Another great blocking action for Iran. And with that 8th point in a row for Iran, and that 8-1 lead in the third set, the timeout called by Marie-José Umutezi Rubaiza. Well, for the moment, all 3 sets are the exact copy-paste, with Iran having a very strong start, building an early gap, as it is the case one more time with that 7 points lead. And then Ronda is fighting, but it's too late to close that gap. Let's see what they can do now. But it looks like Iran is looking forward to conclude that first game as soon as they can. Where's the captain serving, coming back from the timeout? Is this what we call the point for the coach? Clementine Umutoni, Ronda's number 13. Easy serve, easy reception. Lilian digged, but great cover from Ronda at the net. A good block, and the lifting is called against Iran. While Clementine was looking for a difficult area there, but the ball just went directly into the net. An ace for Fatma Abbasi. Great spike from the back row, but the dig from Iran. Batul Khalilzadeh not able to self-cover herself on that spike. And that's another point for Ronda. But again, they are already 6 points behind. And they will need to make some big efforts to close the gap. Not on that one. Great conclusion, Zainab Maleki. And substitution to come from Iran.
Substitution by Team Iran. Number 39, number 11
was Mariam Kalori coming in for Fatma Jahani. We did not see her in the second set. It's her very first point of this World Championships. Oh, her very first ball, not an easy one. That set was too wide towards the antenna. Important for Team Iran to have everyone involved. They will probably try to put all the girls on court in that third set. Touched by the block, and no! Ronda says no. It will be the very first challenge of that game. Well, the question will be super easy. Was there any block touch? Yes or no?
Team Rwanda whispered a video challenge.
Great addition in this World Championship. First time that we have all three courts equipped with a video challenge. Was there a touch? It looks like the finger is moving. We see it on the big screen. And the answer is yes. The point goes to Iran. Well, they are displaying the image again and again, but not stopping on the image. But that's an unsuccessful challenge because there was a touch. And the point is for Iran. Well, at least it was the opportunity to check if everything was working properly with that video challenge system. Apparently it's the case. And that's so good to have that addition here in Hangzhou for this World Championships. High ball on the reception. The ball is coming back. Who wants to take the second ball contact? No one. And the ball falls on the wrong side. Another points for Iran. Two small mistakes, two small details. When you add all of them, it is the 8-point difference that we have between those two teams in the third set. Double touch called against Rwanda by Ritsuto Yamamishi, Japanese first referee of that game. And the gap is increasing again and again. It is now a 10-point lead for Iran, 15-5. Fasina for Sandrine, great block, but she comes to block again. Push deep, clever play by Mari Musio. $15 for Iran, 6 for Rwanda. Three-point for Rwanda. Another rotation mistake for Iran. Zina Maleki has to sit in position 2. Mariam Kalori in position 3. And they did it reversed. Good block by Rwanda. That's a net fall called against Rwanda, and Clementine says, yes, I touched the net. Do not request a challenge. That's the right decision. It's point number 16 for Iran in that third set. Well played by Clementine. It was on the line that Farzaneh Haidari was covering. She was a bit too much behind, too deep into the court to cover that short spike. Huge unforced completely out of bounds for Clémentine. That's another mistake, 2 in a row for Clémentine now. And another 10-point lead for Iran, 18-8. And the second timeout call by Rwanda in that third set. Well, nothing really goes as planned for the girls of Marie-José Umutesi Rubaidza. And for Iran, a 19 points to 8 lead. Do not take care of the scoreboard you have on the screen right now. It's not updated. Iran has 2 more points, 19-8 in that third set. And they are getting closer and closer from securing a first victory in their World Championship opener. Great way for them to start. If we come across the fact that Rwanda was stronger in the zonal championships against Kenya, this would mean that Iran will be favorite when taking on Kenya tomorrow. This game would be at 1:30 local time on court number 2, and they will have a very strong clash against China in their third day of competition, against who they lost in the final of the Asian Zonal Championships for the gold medal. Still finishing runner-up, but China was stronger at that moment. But let's be sure that this will be a great clash on Sunday. It's a game that we will be able to follow on court number 1, 5 p.m. local time on Sunday here. Lilian, great dig by Iran. Great work by the block, but it comes back. The cover by Iran is amazing, and with the fist closed, the point for Rwanda and for Solange Niraneza. Oh, what a spike, what a conclusion for Zara Nejatiarev in position 2. Not an easy one. She is right-handed, and the ball has to travel all the way to her right shoulder before she launches. Well played. The ball rolling on the net, rolling in between the blockers, but falling on the side of Rwanda. 22 for Iran, 9 for Rwanda. Not a great serve. That point to be replayed. A bit of luck for Batul Ralilzadeh, because the ball looked to be clearly on the Iranian side, but she finally managed to get it over the net and to have that point to be replayed. Very strong one again by Zara Nejatiarev. 23-9. And the Iranian captain showing the way, leading the way. What a serve again to get her team a very first match point. A bit greedy on that one. She wanted it so bad that she put, well, either too much power or too much angle on that serve. But the result is the same. The point is for Rwanda. Oh, still match point. I think that one was maybe a bit too long from Clementine, but touched by the Iranian receiver. 24-11. Another match point for Iran. This time the reception is a good one. Good swing, touched by the block. Free ball Iran. Through the middle, the conclusion for Farzaneh Haidari. And that's the first victory for Iran in this World Championships. 3-0. All 3 sets on the same score, 25-11. A very strong display by the Iranian side. And the first victory to take the lead in this Pool A. We'll watch the second game of that pool later today, 7 p.m. between China and Kenya. Iran takes the first victory in this World Championships, 3-0 against Rwanda. And we will be back in something like 45 minutes, a bit less, for that second game on court number 1. We will be still in the women's tournament, a game in the Pool D between Italy and France. Congratulations to Iran, and see you in 45 minutes for that second game of the World Championships in court number 1 between Italy and France.